Pretty. The words hung in the air, loaded with implications. Van, ever the tactless one, piped up. Oh, yeah. Barbara Jean, you're like a bleached-out Halle Berry. Cheyenne's face crumpled. Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife. She stormed out of the kitchen, leaving a stunned silence in her wake. Barbara Jean, however, seemed to bask in the compliment. So, Van, you really think that I'm new pretty? Oh yeah, you're like a bleached-out Halle Berry, Van repeated, completely missing the tension he'd created. Thank you, Barbara Jean said, genuinely pleased. You're welcome, Van replied, oblivious. Reba watched this exchange, a knot tightening in her stomach. Barbara Jean's transformation wasn't just physical, it was an attitude shift, a blossoming of confidence that bordered on something else. I'm gonna go make some calls, Barbara Jean announced, pulling out her phone and heading towards the living room, leaving the donut untouched. Reba turned to Van, her voice low. So, Barbara Jean, yeah. Is it true that, when you lose a bunch of weight, you, want to do, bounce? Van's eyes widened. Van, Reba admonished, realizing her question had been too suggestive. Cheyenne, who had apparently only retreated to the doorway, re-entered, her eyes red. Oh, Cheyenne, don't be upset, Van said, trying to console her. You're still hot. You're like a bleached-out Jan Brady. Cheyenne glared at him. Jan, Brady, I'm Marcia. Marcia. She threw her hands up in exasperation and stormed out again. Reba sighed. This was going to be a long day. Barbara Jean reappeared, beaming. So, Reba, you should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. We go over the clothes I'm gonna wear, the movies I'm gonna see. Reba raised an eyebrow. Whoa, the movies you're gonna see? What's that got to do with you getting in shape? Barbara Jean waved a dismissive hand. Oh, nothing. We just have the same sense of humor. The Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he's playing a dog or a Santa Claus, you just buy it. She laughed, a high, tinkling sound that grated on Reba's nerves. So, you'll come meet Jordan? No, Reba said flatly, taking a long sip of her green smoothie. It tasted like grass and regret. Oh, come on, Reba. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. Barbara Jean's words tumbled out. Then she'd clapped a hand over her mouth. Oh, whoops! That came out wrong. Reba's eyes narrowed. Well, thanks anyway, but I'm just gonna be here with my smoothie. Delicious. Just like fruit gravy. She forced a smile, but inside, a seed of suspicion had been planted. Boyfriend. Even if it was a slip of the tongue, it was a telling one. Later that day, Brock, looking even more haggard than usual, approached Reba as she was attempting to power walk around the house, much to the amusement of Jake. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Brock said, then corrected himself. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. His voice was hopeful, almost pleading. Barbara Jean, already dressed in sleek athletic wear, shook her head. Oh, honey, I can't. I'm going to the gym. Brock's shoulders slumped. Can't you skip it just this once? Come on, I'll take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Barbara Jean paused, a flicker of temptation in her eyes. Then, she shook her head again. Really? Skip the gym and eat French food? No, can fondue. She gave him a quick peck on the cheek and was out the door. Brock watched her go, a defeated look on his face. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly, Reba murmured, remembering Barbara Jean's best boyfriend slip. Frankly, I like the new, but, Brock continued, oblivious to Reba's thoughts, but the new attitude, not so much. Reba couldn't resist. Oh, that's really funny coming from the old butt. Brock ignored her. Jordan's so great. Jordan's so toned and funny. He mimicked Barbara Jean's dreamy tone. Bob, you're overreacting, Reba said, though a part of her wondered if he was. Oh, really? Brock's voice rose. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Reba scoffed, but a shiver ran down her spine. Barbara Jean with her trainer. I mean, sure, He's probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But, Brock prompted, his eyes wide with desperate hope. That's it, Reba finished lamely. The truth was, she didn't know what to think. Reba, I need you to help me out, Brock pleaded, his voice cracking. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there's anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. Reba stared at him aghast. No way. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right. Up until now, Brock countered, his voice bitter. But now that she's thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Reba paused. He had a point. The change in Barbara Jean was profound. It wasn't just physical. It was an internal shift that radiated outwards, making her seem almost untouchable. Look, Brock, if it's worrying you that much, be honest with her, Reba advised, trying to be the voice of reason. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock threw his hands up in exasperation. Oh, now, there's a great idea. See, why? Since my competition is a machoed, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous, Reba. He stormed off, leaving Reba alone with her thoughts. Spy on them. The idea was distasteful, but the image of Barbara Jean's best boyfriend and Brock's genuine pain lingered. Reba, despite her exasperation with both of them, felt a flicker of concern. For Brock, yes, but also for Barbara Jean. What if she was making a mistake? What if this transformation was leading her down a dangerous path? Reba looked at her power smoothie, now warm and separated. Takes me to spy on those stupid, hard to believe they're supposed to be good for you. Chapter 3. The Gym and the Gays. The following afternoon, Reba found herself standing awkwardly outside the local gym, a place she hadn't frequented since the early 90s. The rhythmic thud of weights and the pulse of pop music vibrated through the glass doors. She took a deep breath, steeling herself. This was for Brock, she told herself. And maybe, just maybe, for Barbara Jean too. As she pushed open the door, a blast of cool, air-conditioned air hit her. The gym was a vibrant, almost intimidating space, filled with sleek machines and even sleeker people. Everyone seemed to be sculpted, toned, and radiating an aura of effortless fitness. Reba, in her sensible sneakers and worn t-shirt, felt like an alien. Just then, Van, who was inexplicably there, spotted her. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? He winked. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms like there's a big sale for false teeth. Reba glared at him. No, I'm not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Van's smile faded. What do you mean? Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barb Jean her new body is wanting to take it for a spin, Reba explained, lowering her voice. Van's eyes widened. He probably does. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs. They're dogs. They're all animals. They just care about hot women. They're hot dogs. He nodded sagely, as if he'd just stumbled upon a profound truth. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you gotta keep your guard up at all times. Reba felt a pang of something she couldn't quite name. I used to... Van looked genuinely hurt. No, baby, don't take it like that. It's just that I've grown into a mature, stable individual, that's all. Reba looked him straight in the eye. Well, I don't like it. She was referring to his new, detached maturity, but also to the implication that she was no longer a hot lady worth guarding. Just then, Cheyenne appeared, looking flustered. Where have you been? I went to get something to eat. Reba shook her head. This family. So, Van, Reba asked, trying to steer the conversation back to the task at hand. You think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Van shrugged. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barb Jean, but since Barb Jean isn't looking to play, there's no problem. And it's obvious Barb Jean isn't looking. Why is this obvious? Reba pressed. 2 reasons, Van explained, counting on his fingers. Barb Jean isn't good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she'd be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she'd probably even want you to meet him. Meet him. Reba's mind replayed Barbara Jean's invitation, her slip of the tongue about best boyfriend. Van's logic, while sounding